that's something obviously we need to coordinate, make sure and it is an A to Z assistance that we provide, so we can get you the seminar, we help you with the vet and the proper venues, we build the invitations, we get them sent out, and do Facebook marketing for you, and you're going to have 35 people register to see you in a seminar setting over 2 nights. Additionally, Dave has done a really nice job with Retirement Boss Radio, and we assist him with a little bit of stipend in order to keep him involved in helping our producers if they want to do radio. I would highly recommend either of those as a potential ways to grow your business. So Dave himself got in the business in the early 80s, 81, 82. I think he's celebrating about 41 years in the business. And I know that more than ever, I don't know if he would say at any other time he's had a busier schedule than he has right now. He keeps 2 to 3 or 4 appointments a day, as well as helping out our guys and gals from a coaching standpoint. And running a business. He's as busy as he's ever been. Although yesterday when I tried to call him, Dave, I believe you were out hitting the links. So I'm kind of wondering.
I was hitting the links, but I'm back hard at it today.
Hey, I'm sure that you're probably taking calls on the golf course as usual as well.
Well, I told my administrator, it says you can call me, but it better be important.
Well, I'm sure they did. I don't even know if I left a message. I meant to, because I didn't need to talk with you, but I just needed to remind you of something. But as you can all hear, we've got Dave Pimper, the coach, with us today. He's going to spend some time talking about Social Security maximization, kind of hit on the top 5 or 6 things that will answer 65 to 70% of the questions that your clients might have, and then make himself available for assistance and also give you some great ideas on how to promote yourself and your business using Social Security claiming. So really great webinar coming up. Dave, I'm glad you're able to join us here this morning.
Absolutely.
I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. And Steve, so and all the people on the line with us today, this webinar is going to last about 25 minutes, so about quarter till is when we will be finished up, and we can take questions at that time period. And again, I want to thank everybody for coming on board with us today. A lot of advisors don't really understand how Social Security can truly help their practice. And I'll tell you right now, it's an area that just not a lot of advisors truly understand. So if you do have questions, certainly, and I don't know if I have the controls yet, Steve, or not.
Yeah, try it.
Do I? Okay, I'm trying there. There we go. Very good. It's like magic. Yeah, so this actually comes from Sarah O'Brien. She is a journalist writer in the financial arena for CNBC. And I took this word for word, this excerpt. It says, most retirees get little advisor help on Social Security. And then it goes on to read, a majority of older Americans get no professional advice about a key part of retirement planning, that be Social Security, even if they work with a financial advisor, a recent study concluded. It's wild. Social Security, which we'll see here shortly, it accounts for almost 60% of the majority source of income for the average American. I'm going to do a test, a quiz, and I want everybody here to take it. I mean, it's a good quiz, and it's not easy, but only 1 in 300 seniors could guess or correct all 5 of those questions. So it's by Simply Wise. It's an online. I took it right again, word for word. So first question, here we're taking this quiz now. First question, to maximize your monthly Social Security checks, at what age must you claim benefits? To maximize your monthly Social Security checks, at what age must you claim benefits? Okay? So let's go in. Let's guess that. What age? What age? All right? Have you guessed? Here we go. It's not full retirement age. That's when you get your full benefit. If you wait later, it's age 70. Now, with survivor benefit, with Coordinating spousal, there could be something different, but if for a single, the longer you wait, the bigger your benefit's going to be. You can wait up to 70 and still let it continue to grow. At that time period, it stops growing only by cost of living. Age 70 is the answer. Question 2, what's the earliest age you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? What's the earliest age you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? The correct answer is 60. It's reduced by 28.5%, but you can take it at the age of 60. Question 3, does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? Does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? Take this quiz with me. Is it yes or is it no? Yes, they do. That's the only way if you both have to be taking. Question 4, can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Yes or no? Yep. So if you guess yes, you're in the ballparks here, but you got to guess 2 of the 4 stipulations. What have to be met? The stipulations are met. What are they for a divorced spouse? Guess 2 of them. Here we go. Write them down. That's how you get the question right. Well, the first one is you have to be at least married for 10 years. You're currently unmarried. Your ex is at least 62. Divorce was 2 years ago or longer. If you guess 2 of those 4 or more, I'm giving you credit for this question. And the last question, are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced? Are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced? That's the question. Are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced? What's the answer? Here we go. It's yes. And again, those 4 stipulations, remember what they are? Okay, here's what they are. 4 stipulations. Your marriage lasted 10 years or longer. Currently you're unmarried. Your divorced spouse can be married, but you're currently unmarried. Marriage lasted 10 years or longer. Divorce was 2 years ago or longer. Yeah. So how'd you do on that? Well, if you didn't guess all 5, you're not an expert in Social Security claim because you should get. I mean, I got all those right. But you know what happens is they're complicated. 2,700 rules. That's why most advisors don't know Social Security. That's how we're coaching you up on Social Security. Okay? Jana Heron from the USA Today back a couple of years ago. I took this again, excerpts word to word. Doing this one thing with your Social Security could mean losing $100,000 in retirement. How much does claiming Social Security at the wrong time cost you? Retirees will lose an average, get a load of this, of $111,000 in income per household over their lifetime because they took Social Security benefits at the wrong time. Bullet point 4, so incredible. Only 4% of retirees took Social Security at the financially optimal age. That's what we're here to help them with, to help them find out when that optimal age is. Excuse me. Just real quickly, just a bit of history on Social Security. Started in 1935 by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Age 65 was the only age you could take it. But now you can take it as early as 62 or wait longer for a bigger income check up to the age of 70. No reason to wait after 70. You just lose the benefit if you don't take. The earlier you take it, the lesser the benefit. The longer you wait, the bigger the benefit. Cost of living started in 1975 annually. No taxation till 83, but up to 50% of your Social Security is taxed on the provisional income tax bracket on the first one, and on the second tier, if you're married filing jointly, it's uh, 44,000, single 34,000, then you pay up to 85% of your Social Security is taxed. Bipartisan Budget Act, you see every year because it's kind of a marketing ploy of FMOs and marketers in general, lead generation. That there's some huge changes every year with Social Security. Really, all that changes is cost of living changes, and your full retirement age does change. But those are minor compared to what happens like once every 10 years. And last time was 215 in the Bipartisan Budget Act. They phased out quickly, 6 months, full file and suspend. They phased out slowly restricted application, which you can still get if you're born before January 2nd of 1954. How important is Social Security? Yeah, very. 59% claim it as one of the, probably the major source of income. You know, if you know nothing about Social Security claiming, not a thing, this one slide will give you, I'm telling you what, just knowing this concept, you're going to know more than when you started today. There's 3 important ages or dates of Social Security. There's the age that you can go in and take your full benefit, and that's age 66 to 67, your full benefit. If you take earlier than that, because you can't start before 62, but if you take earlier, it's reduced. So there's goods and bads about that. The good part is you're getting a benefit now, but it's reduced. It can be reduced up to 30%. So if you have $1,000 benefit at full retirement age, and you take it 62, and your full retirement age is 67, yeah, you're going to be reduced 30% for the rest of your life. If you take a full retirement age, you get your full benefit. If you wait to 70, now all of a sudden it grows 8% a year, 2/3% a month, guaranteed by the Social Security Administration, U.S. government. So you get a bigger benefit if you wait to take later. That's the basics of Social Security claiming. That's the basics. If you have any questions, certainly just type them on in. Social Security can have a huge value. And the reason I emphasize this is maximizing your Social Security benefit if you claim at your right time, not the right time, not a right time, not your neighbor's right time, but they're like snowflakes. Everybody's unique and different. There's all kinds of factors that come into play with Social Security claiming that advisors can help with. You know why Social Security Administration can't help here? Because they can't give advice. They can only give your highest benefit right now. Will Social Security, will they ask you about your health? Will they ask you about some of the operations or your current drugs you're taking? Will Social Security ask you what your investment portfolio looks like, or if you've got pensions or other annuity streams of income coming in? No, they're not going to ask any of that. Do you need that to make an informed decision of when to take it? Absolutely. They're not going to talk to you about, hey, you know what, do you need the money? Do you not have enough money coming in because you're retired? No, they cannot ask you. That's why they can't give advice. That's what we do. Folks, I'll tell you right now, if you don't know Social Security claiming and you're working with the pre-retired or just retired, you're working from that 55 to 70, and you don't know this inside and out, you should. And we give you the opportunity to do that. We do Social Security workshops. The cost is $2,500. It might be going up in the near future, but as of right now, it's $2,500. What that $2,500 buys you is you're guaranteed to get 35 signups. Like right now, I'm running one right now. It costs me $2,500. I use my system. It costs me $2,500. And our workshops are next Wednesday and Thursday, so they're 5 and 6 days away. And right now, I've got 38 people who have registered. So I'm guaranteed 35, or we start giving your money back. With that comes free Social Security claiming education. I'm going to coach you up. 3 Social Security claiming trading sessions by phone. You get about 20 attachments all about Social Security. There's a great book to read, The Bible of Social Security. You order it. It's like $20. You get a video of myself giving it all. You get the PowerPoint. You get all the slides. You get all the language. I did the presentation. Yeah, it's really it's 44 slides. Great intro, great ending. So I coach you up. I'm not in your hierarchy. When you're doing business with IAMS, Insurance Agency Market Services, I get a stipend from them. I'm not in your hierarchy, which is nice. Yeah, I'm coaching. You could use me as a person to get information about Social Security claiming or anything else. Then there's Retirement Boss Radio. It's your radio host show. And depending on your market, which needs to be 100,000 people or more metropolitan, yeah, it runs anywhere from maybe $3,000 to $4,000 on an average, all in for an hour show a week. It's a turnkey system. We supply you with a co-host, the show notes, coaching with 3 coaching sessions, 2 to 3 coaching sessions with myself. I critique your first shows. We get the radio station for you, the right time, the right station, the right pricing. Yeah, turnkey. Or if you just want to go in and learn Social Security, no marketing. Yeah, costs us $800 for 4 sessions. And you get the full use of me anytime you want to use me within reason for Social Security claiming. Social Security Trust Fund right now is about $2.8 trillion. In 2019, so we don't have 2020 yet, but in 2019 there still was a premium. There still was a revenue plus or increase as far as payroll taxes coming on in. It may not happen in 2020. Now, you hear all the time people saying, I may take mine early because you don't know if it's going to be around, because I heard it's going to go bankrupt in 2034. That is correct. It was 2035. They lowered it to 2034. They said it'll go bankrupt. But what funds Social Security? Payroll taxes. That's 6.2% that we pay, the 6.2% that your employer pays, or if you're self-employed, like many of us in the independent world are, we pay both ends of that. And I thought it used to be thought it was a ripoff. I thought we were getting rooked, but I understand it now. And Social Security, I'm going to tell you right now, it's one of the. If it wasn't for that, about 50% of all Americans would be towards poverty row. True. So what happens, remember, payroll taxes pays for about 76% of your benefit coming on in. The trust fund is only used and tapped upon if those funds don't go in and supply enough income for the regular benefit. It hasn't been deleted since 1983, but it would delete out in 1934. I'm telling you right now, don't lose sleep over it, because they're going to do some kind of either taxation, or they're going to do some type of increasing of maybe full retirement age. Yeah, that's coming, or something, a combo of both. Don't worry, because Social Security's been here for 85 years. It's not going anywhere. They'll make changes. Congress will make changes. Is it a pay-as-you-go system? Yeah, by payroll taxes. That's the majority is paid by. They used to be bonds, and they still do purchase bonds, but those bonds get sold almost instantly. Yeah, what happens is that they borrow from the trust fund. That 2.9 trillion, T like ton of money. No, there's virtually no bonds there. But what backs it? IOU. Same IOU that cash in your pocket does. And certainly, some people say it's a Ponzi scheme. Ponzi schemes don't go on and on for 85 years. You need 40 quarters of coverage, or 40 credits, they're called. If you make $1,470 in the year of 2021, you get a quarterly credit. You can get 1 credit per quarter, 4 quarters per year. 4 credits is the maximum that you can get in a year's time. The more you make, the bigger those credits are, up to 143,700. If you make any more than that, you don't pay on payroll taxes for Social Security, to 6.2%. They take your earnings over your working career. They take your highest 35 inflation-adjusted earnings years. And that's when you take your benefit. The earlier you take it, the less it is. The later you wait, the bigger it is. That's kind of how you figure out what your actual benefit is. If there's any questions, type them in. Gotta love that dog, don't you? Can you tell he's wearing a bone tie on his birthday? Bad. Full retirement age, FRA. If you're born between 43 and 54, 1954, 56. I was born in 55, so my full retirement age is 66 years and 2 months. Stair steps 2 months each year up to 1960 or later was 67. Everybody has a full retirement age now of 66 to 67 or somewhere in between. A newborn born today, age 67. Won't be probably in the future, but it is now. Okay? Any questions? Certainly type them in. Social Security is one of those subjects that 2,700 rules. It's complicated. When you coach with me, I make it easier for you. I'm not saying it's easy. And you know what? If you think you're just going to coach with me for 3-4 sessions and you'll be an expert that very first, no. I mean, the more people you talk to, the more questions that are thrown your way. But I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about the individual benefit. We're going to talk about a spousal benefit, divorce spousal benefit, restricted application. So if you know those 5 things, I'm telling you right now, you can answer probably 80-85% of all the questions. If you apply before full retirement age, your income is going to be reduced, and it gets reduced anywhere from basically 6.7% all the way up from 5% per year up to 6.7% per year. So basically 5-6% a year it gets reduced if every year you take early. Every year you wait, it grows 8%. Except for the first year at age 67, it grows 8% guaranteed. Remember, cost of living's on top of that. Our cost of living the last 10 years has averaged 2%. This year it's 1.3%. Last year 1.6%. Social Security, the inflation figure is going to be coming out somewhere between October 10th, 11th, 12th, or 13th. So it's going to be next week. And I bet you anything it's going to be hovering around 6%, the highest since 1983. Think what you were doing in 83. I had only been in the financial service arena, our business, for 2 years. I started in 81. Wild. So, listen up, spousal benefits. Dave's PIA, primary insurance amount, is $2,400. Amy's PIA, primary insurance amount, that's the amount at full retirement age, just $1,000. We're not doing any discounting here. Dave takes his, $2,400. Amy takes hers. Dave gets $2,400. Amy has an option. She can take all of hers or half of Dave's, whichever is higher. What's higher? Half of Dave's. So really the way it looks on when you get your report from Social Security, $1,000 is her individual benefit and $200 is the spousal top up. That's how the spousal benefit works. How about divorce spouse? Remember, that was one of our questions. You have to have been married for 10 years or longer, continuously. You're currently unmarried. That's the person requesting it, not the ex. Your ex is at least 62. Doesn't make a difference if they're taking or not. The divorce has been 2 years ago or longer. If those 4 stars and moons line up, you can use your divorced spouse just as if you're still married to them. Why is that a big deal? Because married couples get many times much more benefit advantage than a single person. Much more. Survivor. My wife said, no one gets out of here alive. Isn't that the truth? In this kind of hypothetical, Dave's benefits $2,000, Amy's benefits $1,200. Who normally dies first in the marriage? 75% of the time it's the guy. So let's say Dave dies at 82. Now, does Amy automatically jump up to his benefit? No. She has to request it. How about a divorce benefit? It has to be requested. Those have to be requested. The only one that happens automatically is your spousal benefit. That happens automatically. You don't have to request. But other than that, no. You got to request. But if Dave dies, here's what happens. Amy doesn't keep on getting Dave's benefit. No, she can't get hers and his. She can get hers and hers or his and his. There's one or the other. Can't get them both, but she has to request it. She jumps up to that higher benefit. Do lots of people not do this? Lots. That's how the survivor benefit works. How about coordinating spousal benefits? This gets a little more complicated, but what happens here, as long as you're born before January 2nd of 1954, so you got to be 67 years and about 10 months old or older, just the person requesting. Let's say Dave's primary insurance benefits 2,400, Amy's is 1,000. If Amy takes hers, instead of Dave just letting his grow 8%, he can do that, but through a restricted application, he does exactly the same thing, and he's able to reach out. It's a loophole. He can reach out to Amy's and take a spousal benefit on restricted application. He gets an extra $500 a month, $6,000 a year, $12,000 in 2 years. It's a big deal. That's free money. Less than 1% of the people that restricted application would work use this strategy. Is that wild? And the Social Security system, you don't get a letter from them saying, hey, want to let you know you're leaving money on the table. No, we do that if you know Social Security. And I go through this when we coach much more slowly, and you got good articles, and you can call me with questions. If it seems kind of foreign to you now, I understand, but that's understanding Social Security. It's a great inroad for production, I'll assure you. What can Social Security personnel do? They can estimate your highest benefit now. They cannot give you advice. Right from their manual, from their POMS, Program Operational Manual. Provide enough information so that claimants can make informed choices, but do not give advice. We give advice. Income streams, yeah. Social Security, it's not a standalone income stream. You got to look at your other income streams, the 5 pillars of income. It's the most flexible of income streams, claiming at your right time, not the right time. Don't forget about the survivor benefit. I mean, it's very important. Social Security is one of the 5 pillars of income. You got wages, pensions, income producing assets could be RMDs on traditionals at 72 and social. You know what happens is that number 3, that's where I uncover through my fact finding all of their assets. That's why this is just to let them really know when they should take it. You got to get information on every single one of these, which I have the worksheet to do that. A lot of things to consider before claiming. Remember, there's 3 ways you can do Social Security. If you're not in front of, I'm in front of tons of people. Every day I have appointments. Hardly ever do I not have a day where I actually had to change a couple appointments to be able to golf in this little tourney yesterday. But you know what? You want your day to be loaded up. That's how you make money, is by either belly to belly, or if you're in areas where you're Zooming or phone calls, but contacting people. Seminar marketing, $2,500, guaranteed 35 registrants. I'm telling you what, we want to get 10 appointments or more. We just had one out of New England. He's done them for a while, and he just got 17 appointments. Retirement Boss Radio, probably run $3,000 to $4,000 a month. But you're going in, and again, we want 10 appointments out of that per month. Last month I got 14. The month before I got 21. 21, or just for Social Security. No marketing, just $800, and I'll coach you up on Social Security and show you how to go in and make more money. What Steve Murray's going to do is put a slide up, and that slide's going to say, hey, do you want an appointment with us? And if you want an appointment, just mark yes. But there's an old saying, kind of slogan, it says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop tomorrow. The reason I bring that up, as he's bringing up the poll here, is that if you heard something today that you truly believe could help you, I'll tell you right now, could you learn Social Security on your own? Absolutely. Will it take a lot, and I'm exaggerating when I say a lot less time and effort on your part if you have a coach like myself to go in and teach you up on it and give you all the tools you need, plus the PowerPoint, plus the attachments, plus you get a Social Security software for 3 months free. Just lots of stuff come your way. It's much, much easier. So if you'd like to mark yes, then we will give you a call, get you on my calendar. We'll have a 15 to 25-minute call, and just ask about, what your practice is like, how you market, and if understanding Social Security, whether it be Social Security seminar marketing, whether it be Retirement Boss radio marketing, whether just understanding Social Security better through individual and personalized coaching, it very well might really make a big difference. I mean, it certainly has in my business. In my 40 years in the business, the last 11 years have been special because of how many more clients I'm able to meet and to do business with because of my knowledge of Social Security. Take advantage of it. Steve, I'm going to just hand this over to you, and we'll answer any questions, and then we'll button her up for the day.
Thank you, Dave. There was a lot of interest I see, and thank you all for tuning in and joining us here this morning. Great subject matter, as always. A lot of interest in Social Security claiming. You also had some interest that got piqued around seminars and a little bit about Retirement Boss Radio. You didn't talk much about radio here today. Can you give the folks just a quick primer on how RBR works, kind of some standard expense information, and maybe talk a little bit about areas that may or may not be eligible?
Sure. Let me first say this. Most people who do radio, they do ads. They do a 30-second ad. They do a 1-minute ad. And I'm not saying those can't work. I mean, we just had Annuity Academy, and one of the fellows there for quite a while ran a 2-minute every single day at the same time, and he got business from it. But think if you do it for an hour. Think if they can start making a connection with you. Thinking about that there's a co-host promoting you. Think about 10 to 15 spots every week, 15 to 20-second spots promoting your show on that first or second biggest, usually AM radio station, talk radio station, in your metropolitan area. Well, I'll tell you right now, there's a reason why. Now, Rush Limbaugh, who was the king of that, he's now deceased, but he still, his show still goes on. Just that Rush is not the man. But the reason him or Kim Commando or Rick Edelman or Sean Hannity, why they're on radio? Because they have advertisers that pay them big money to be on that station. Why? Because so many people are listening. Why do I get 14 appointments last month, 21 appointments the month before, 17 appointments the month before? My goal is it's well worth it as long as I get 10 appointments or more. But you have a co-host, it's recorded. You can record it in your office. We give you the software, very expensive, thousands and thousands of dollars for the software, but we let you use that with Retirement Boss Radio. I coach you up on radio. You buy about $225 worth of professional mic and professional headphones, and we have a little foam it's kind of a radio room that's padded with foam. Well, we put that mic within that box. It sounds just exactly. In fact, if you go to www.retirementbossradio.com, www.retirementbossradio.com, they have my updated podcasts, which are my shows themselves. Actually, the shows, so it's recordings, but you can kind of see the quality of it. And it's going to run $3,000 to $4,000 on an average. Could it be less? Yeah, I've seen it less than that. I've seen it down to $2,300 all in, meaning your radio station, your production company, and it's recorded. But when they call in, they have they have a call center, a high touch inbound call center that sets up on an electronic calendar right into your calendar. It's like magic. It's really, really cool. So we coach you up on Social Security. It's free for you. It's not free for IAMs. They pay me. They stipend me to coach you up. And then I'm not in your hierarchy, which we worked that out years and years and years ago. I don't think it looks good for me to be in people's hierarchies. Anything that they've got to cut from their pay. So IAMs just stipends me. They stipend me a little bit for every person that I'm working with, which there's a lot right now in the last 16 years. But that's how Retirement Boss Radio works.
Talk a little bit about availability of Retirement Boss Radio, Dave.
Yeah, and it's certain because we have other spots in the U.S., and so it's not open for every single metropolitan area of 100,000 or more. But by far the majority of because it's just the U.S. is so big, we're kind of franchising this on out. Retirement Boss Radio's trademark. Before I did my first show, I went in, I bought the trademark on that, and so is the slogan. Take charge of your money. Take charge of your money. And I always say, hey, it's not Dave Pimper. It's you. You need to take charge of your money. And so that's Retirement Boss Radio. Take charge of your money. And it's been a hit. I'm telling you right now. I mean, it's really, really. I mean, I look at my appointments this afternoon. I got one client appointment, and I've got 2 Retirement Boss Radio appointments, and they've been golden. I mean, they're just gold. And I will say this, Steve. I'm just going to bring this up right now. But Social Security seminars. I have people ask me, what are better, Dave? Is it Social Security seminars for $2,500, or is it Retirement Boss Radio, getting that hour radio host show, for $3,000 to $4,000 on the average, all in cost? I don't think there's one better than the other. I will say I do both of them. Like, you know what? I got one coming on up. I think I got 38, 37, 38, 39 registrants right now, and we still have another 5 or 6 days left. So that's pretty cool. But no, I don't think there's one better than the other. I do believe that radio, though, probably has a little higher net worth. Radio, or a lot of people that would never go to a seminar I've done business with that come in by radio. It gives you more celebrity status. Oh, you're on radio, like you're on TV, you're on radio. I just heard you. Yeah. So you know what? I mean, I went to Churchill's, which is one of my vices in life. I have many, but that's one of them. And I smoked cigars, and I was down there after this golfing event yesterday, having a cigar with the boys, and I had 2 different people tell me that they both heard me on the radio this last week. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
Pretty darn cool. Yeah. So that gives you an idea a little bit about those two marketing programs where you can learn Social Security. Retirement Boss Radio, about 30-35% of all the business that comes into me is Social Security claiming related, where they have questions. That was the lead, the door, the foot in the door, and that's why we coach you up again in IAMS. The FMO pays me to do that, not in your hierarchy. I keep on mentioning that because no one likes that. If you're in commission sales, you don't want to get your commission cut. That isn't the case here. I coach you up, and they stipend me. And I'll tell you right now, knowing Social Security, you don't know what you don't know. Once you know Social Security, you'll be amazed at how many doors that opens for you from a production standpoint.
Well, I think it's notable. I don't know that we quoted this early on, that there's a statistic that came from a survey that 76% of the folks would leave their current financial advisor to go to a financial advisor that has knowledge of Social Security. It's a very important retirement asset. So not surprising. Let's prevent that. Let's make you the person they leave for. And there's opportunity to do that here with Dave, whether it's just working with your current clients or growing your clients via seminars and radio. And Dave, on your radio show, how much of your appointments that you receive from your radio shows, how much do you think come when you open up the phones to talk about Social Security claiming, if you're going to guess?
Can you say that again, Steve? I'm not quite sure what you meant there.
If you're on your radio show, every once in a while you open up the phone and you'll say, hey, let's talk about Roth conversions, or let's talk about 401, whatever it is. But at some point during your radio show, almost every radio show you bring up a Social Security subject.
I do.
Let's open the phones and talk about that. How many of those appointments that you get each week from those? Is it half of your appointments, a third?
I would say it's at least a third, but I wrote two pieces of business last week, and both of those came in because I always ask a person, hey, what are the 2 most important things that you want to cover today in this next hour, face-to-face, from the appointment, say from radio, what are the 2 most important things? The very first, when you leave, whether we meet again or not, I say that the same every single time. As you know, Steve, I'm very much of a I'm a systems. I'm very systems. It's just the way I do things. And both of those was closed them last week, and I have a 3 appointment close. So it's been about a month with them now, 3 weeks in a row. Both, I always look back and see where that lead came from, what marketing source. whether it's a referral, whether it's a client, whether it's Retirement Boss Radio, Social Security claiming seminars, lead generation. I mean, I got different kind of marketing things, but both are from radio. And I write them down on my fact finder, my evaluation sheet. And both things on the top was they want to know more about Social Security when the best time for them to claim is. Huh. Is that something? Yeah, interesting. So I would say a third to 40%, 33% to 40%, third to 40%. That's about how much. That's how important it is. So can you do it without bringing up Social Security? Sure, but I think you're limiting yourself. That's a hot subject right now.
Yep. Well, good. The other questions that we have seem to be more, I would say, specific. And I'm just looking, most people have requested an appointment, which is great. With you, certainly we can answer some of those on a one-on-one basis. That's going to be more appropriate. Is there anything else that you want to add before we close up today?
No, I don't know if you saw that last question come in, Steve, because I can see it too. They were just asking about do they, and I didn't make this very clear. They was, and I'll ad lib this. They're just asking, do they have to go to the radio station and find the time, or do we do that for them? And that's a good question, Pete, who came up with that. Yeah, we have a radio buyer, a media buyer, and this person's been in the business, his family, for 60 years in the radio business, but 23 years for him on his own radio media buying company. They do 750 radio and television shows a week that he's purchased radio time for. That person goes out and negotiates. He negotiates, and he's a bandit, man. I'm telling you what, he is great at what he does. He knows every major market in the U.S. He knows all of the owners. I mean, the big boys, iHeartRadio. I mean, the big boys. He knows everything, and he's the one that goes out. We tell him where it is, and you know what? You got to have the. It's like real estate, location. With radio buying time, that's the majority of your cost. So it's very important to get a good deal. What happens is it's not location. It's finding the right station at the right time slot at a competitive pricing. If one of those three doesn't line up, then almost always it's not worthwhile to go in. And does that happen? Certainly does from time to time. Do we have to wait some time to get those three to line up? Certainly do. But we want the best value for our clients. And so, no, you don't have to do anything. In fact, if you went down to your local station, radio station, your price, I'll assure you, will be much, much higher than what his competitive discounted rates are that he can get with the radio station. So, yeah, we make it like a turnkey system so you don't have to do that legwork.
Good stuff as always. Good questions as always. Happy to have everybody on with us today. Here it is Friday. We got some people joining us to learn more about how to grow their business and how to help their clients. I'm impressed by that. I'm impressed by the large group. So thank you all for joining us. We have a bias towards assisting you here at IAMS. As you all know, we're going to do everything we can to help you grow your business. And if you're taking some time out of a Friday to join us for that, we know that you're serious. So whatever we can do to help, give us a call. We're at the office here. Are going to pick up the phone before it rings more than 2 times at 800-255-5055. You can talk to anybody here. I'm the president. I'm available. You can talk to fellow owners. The founder, Charles Hiring, is here most days, so you got full access to the full enchilada, as we say. And we'd love to get you set up with Dave. Social Security is the single biggest point of information that you can have to grow your business today. And we've seen it, not because we think it, but we've seen it over and over again with our producers in the field. And Dave, you've been a great part of helping us and helping our producers capitalize on that, helping their current client base and growing their client base. So we thank you very much. So have a great weekend, everybody. If we can help, give us a call. Dave, anything you want to say as we close up today?
No, again, thank you for your time. And on Friday we had a good turnout, and it's still nice and a lot of weather. But I know people want to learn about Social Security. Certainly, hopefully, you marked yes, and we'll contact you. And looking forward to speaking with a lot of you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.